So people that are making a big deal of a state victory because they got manslaughter introduced, that's all nonsense, really. It was always going to be on the table.
It's not even nonsense. Of course it's going to be on the table. It's automatic. All it takes, as I said, is one side or the other to ask for the court to give an instruction on a Category 1 lesser included offense, and it will be given. There's no reason to argue about it, discuss it, try to do anything else. Now, you have different categories, 2 and 3, and what the state was trying to do today was indeed pretty bizarre, to come in at the last minute and go to a non-Category 1 lesser included offense of third-degree murder. That was silly, and they wasted a lot of time, and my friend Don West nearly had a heart attack over there, but the judge did the right thing, and it's over.
Let's listen to Don West exploding over that particular moment. We've got a clip of that.
Oh my God. Just when I thought this case couldn't get any more bizarre, the state is seeking third-degree murder based on child abuse? Is the court going to give this any serious contention or consideration? Because if so, we have a lot of talking to do.
I mean, it was pretty rich of him to talk about a bizarre state of affairs, given he was the one that opened proceedings with a knock-knock joke.
Well, I'm sure he'll live that down for a very long time. This case, as far as Don's going to be, is going to be about that joke forever. But the bottom line is, it was bizarre, and for the state to come in on the morning of argument and try to change the case, I think was in fact disingenuous. It was bizarre, and I have to say, I'm sorry, but it was unprofessional, and it was legally incompetent, and the judge did the right thing.
Let's just cut to the quick now, Cheney. How long do you think this jury will go out for, and what do you think their likely conclusion is going to be? And I appreciate it's how long is a piece of string, but give me your reasoned, experienced opinion.
My reasoned experience and my crystal ball that I have on my credenza that I use. Pierce, in this case, obviously, you have analyzed it, can go any way. It can be not guilty, murder to manslaughter, or a hung jury. What I have seen, and I have not seen it all, I have not seen the jury, and even if I had, I don't know that it'd be any better. I believe the state has failed to prove a case of second-degree murder, and I don't think that the jury will buy that. Manslaughter is a different story. I have many years of experience, over 40, in trying homicide cases, and there's no such thing as one free killing. Juries, when they don't have a question as to how somebody died, when they died, who caused them to die, where they died, all the things that we had none of in Casey, and there's a body laying there, generally somebody has a price to pay for that. Now, they're going to have a hard time dealing with the concept of reasonable doubt, and they don't have to prove anything other than a reasonable doubt as to the self-defense. If I were to sit around with a glass of wine and talk with you and Katie about that, I'd say, I think there's a good shot at a manslaughter conviction.
Yeah.
I also don't think the jury's going to be out that long.